Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk about some NFL news, so we're going to it here. I'm ripping my Kentucky hoodie right here, wearing my Kentucky hoodie. Let's get into it. So, Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni. Hey, look at my eyes, I just woke up like a few minutes ago. They're holding a end-of-the-season press conference together on Wednesday with Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni. All signs continue to point to Sirianni returning for the 2024 season. While changes to the staff are expected, there isn't expected to be one at the top of the organization. Sirianni has averaged 12 wins per year in Philadelphia, and he helped lead the Eagles to last season's Super Bowl. Doesn't matter what y'all eliminate from the wild card this year. The Philadelphia Eagles are avoiding the inevitable. Okay. They're avoiding the inevitable. If they have another season like this, Nick Sirianni will be out. And he got the opportunity, and he just wasn't good this year. I just don't know if he's a long-term answer. I mean, I know he lost two very good corners after last season, and maybe, yeah, a bit of a regression was expected, but I didn't expect this level of regression. Like, I just don't know how you can be fully confident. And Nick Sirianni's your head coach right now. Like, you probably lost all your confidence after this season. Where Shane Steichen was the better coach than Nick Sirianni. At the end of the day, you probably wanted to keep. Now you think about it, you probably want to keep Shane Steichen over Nick Sirianni. Sirianni's kind of just a loudmouth. So now we got the Nick Sirianni. Now that we know Nick Sirianni is, let's talk about Jim Harbaugh. So, Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh is expected to meet this week for a second time with the Los Angeles Chargers about their head coaching job, per sources. He's already had one interview, and now he's expected to meet this week for a second time. So, apparently he's going to meet with them for a second time about their head coaching search. If the Chargers are smart, they do not let him leave the building without a contract. I have a feeling he would ask Michigan what their final offer would be, then he'd make the decision. And then, I feel like he's going to go to the Chargers, so I feel like he's going to go to Chargers. And Herbert will throw a freaking party when they sign Jim Harbaugh. At least that's what I think they'll do. I think it's the best scenario for Jim Harbaugh, but we'll see. Yeah, he's going to meet with him for the second time. Expected to meet this week for a second time. The Jaguars, they are set to hire former Falcons defense coordinator Ryan Nielsen as their new defense coordinator, per sources. Man, that's a terrible loss defensively for the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons could have blocked it since it's a later name chose not to. They for sure shouldn't have let him go, because he's a really good defense coordinator. Like, he was incredible. He done a really good job with that defense. In my opinion, he done a really good job. That's a really he done a really underrated. He had a really underrated job last season. So it's a good hire for the Jaguars to improve. See if Ryan Nielsen can turn around that defense after last year's disaster. So former #Commanders coach Ron Rivera is interviewing with the Eagles for their defensive coordinator position, per sources. The last time Rivera was a defensive coordinator, his 2010 Chargers led the league in total defense. People actually like and respect Ron Rivera. I just don't think he's a good head coach. At this point in his career, I don't think he's a good head coach. But I think he could be a good defensive coordinator. He was a defensive coordinator. People don't know shit about Rivera. People didn't know he was a defensive coordinator. As a defensive coordinator, he was major as the Bears defensive coordinator as well. He's a good defensive coordinator. He's just not a good head coach at this point. And that's an interesting one, though, because people probably won't, Ron Rivera's a defensive coach, a defensive coordinator, but he was. It's just with the Commanders, that defensive roster just wasn't really built that well. We'll see if, we'll see. I think it'll be an upgrade over Sean Stein and Matt Patricia, which isn't saying much. At Houston Texans versus Ravens is ESPN's most watched NFL game ever. 31.8 million. ESPN's most watched NFL game ever. Playoffs and regular season dating back 1987, which is crazy. And Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are big draws to the millions and millions of NFL fans. So yeah, that was the most watched NFL game ever. 31.8 million views. Or ESPN's divisional playoff game, the most watched ESPN game. Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris is scheduling a second in-person head coaching interview with the Falcons. Interviews with the Falcons, Panthers, Commanders, and Seahawks per sources. So 4 teams here. The Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris is scheduling second in-person head coaching interviews with 4 teams. The Panthers would be maybe hungry, like with a good cut with Raheem Morris as head coach, but I don't know. He's just kind of an average defensive coordinator. Struggled as an interim head coach and was a very bad head coach for the Buccaneers. I just don't think I don't know how he'll be as a head coach. I don't know. It'll be pretty interesting. Lions guard Jonah Jackson underwent surgery for a slight meniscus tear per source. The former Pro Bowler is expected to miss the NFC Championship but can be back for the Super Bowl if the Lions advance. It's kind of a big blow for the Lions' offensive line. Jackson was a key piece of their line. Hopefully he recovers soon. And if they can advance the Super Bowl, hopefully he plays. The Eagles are set to interview former Jaguars defensive coordinator Mike Caldwell per source. Philly looking for a new defensive coordinator. Caldwell will also speak with the Raiders for a senior defensive staff position with defensive flexibility should Patrick Graham get a head coaching job. Interesting move. Oh, we're looking to wipe away the stench of late season class. Oh yeah, let's talk to the coach from the Jaguars. Yeah, he can be like good. The hashtag Commanders plan to bring in Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn in for a second in-person interview per source. Quinn will be busy with plans to meet with the hashtag Titans on Wednesday and the hashtag Seahawks on Thursday. And he's decent to get a job in this cycle. But man, imagine he goes to the Commanders. So the hashtag Bears requested an interview. They did request an interview with Chargers offensive coordinator Kellen Moore for their offensive coordinator position before they hired one, but they blocked him. He interviewed for the Chargers head coaching job last week. I don't know what they're doing. Why would you want to keep Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator? Or even have a chance at hiring him as a head coach? No, I don't get it. Chiefs All-Pro guard Joe Toney will undergo an MRI on Monday for the pectoral injury he suffered during Kansas City's divisional playoff win over Buffalo. This could be a potential huge injury because he's an incredibly important part of their offensive line, one of the leaders of their O-line. But I don't know. I just have a feeling he'll tough it out and play. We'll see. 49ers consider it 50-50 to be as to whether wide receiver Deebo Samuel will be able to play in Sunday night's NFC Championship game versus Lions due to the shoulder injury suffered versus the Packers per source. He's definitely going to play. They're just trying to confuse the Lions, saying, oh, we're 50-50, but he'll end up playing. No doubt. Your games next week are Lions at 49ers at 6:30 p.m. and then Chiefs at Ravens next Sunday at 3 p.m. So that's all from Adam Schefter, all the news. So we have some breaking news with Frank Ragnow. Hashtag Lions All-Pro Center. Frank Ragnow suffered both a sprained knee and a sprained ankle. So sprained knee and sprained ankle. In Sunday's win over the hashtag Bucks, sources say, Ragnow missed a few plays and somehow went back in. He's expected to play in the NFC Championship game. Man, it's just all grit. Probably one of the most underrated players this generation, especially as an O-lineman. All-pro center, like, the dude's tough. Play with a sprained knee and a sprained ankle, holy moly, holy cow. A Bengals offensive coordinator, we have some more news of Brian Callahan. Brian Callahan, Bengals offensive coordinator, is interviewing in person with the hashtag Titans today for their vacant head coaching job. Then he has the hashtag Panthers second interview tomorrow, followed by the hashtag Falcons. So he has interviews with the Titans, Panthers, and Falcons. I mean, Brian Callahan going to the Titans would definitely be interesting. And I'm not saying he's going to be some elite offensive coordinator. But, man, the Bengals should low-key keep him. Bucks offensive coordinator Dave Canales will interview for a second time with the hashtag Panthers for their head coaching job, sources say. After the showdown with the hashtag Lions, Carolina will take another look. He's been praised for his work with Baker Mayfield throughout the season. This is a downside of having a defensive coach. You nail the offensive coach, and then they will get a defensive head coach very quickly. I think Dave Canales is a great coach, and I think he deserves an opportunity. Three-time Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz is signing with the hashtag Lions per sources. Ertz will start out on the practice squad with plans to potentially elevate him for the NFC Championship game, a boost for the final stretch. Bro literally waited till the NFC Championship game. Like, how's this legal? Panthers offensive coordinator Thomas Brown is having an in-person interview for the Titans head coach job today, per source. I'm told he had a strong first interview. They know what happened with the Panthers offense, right? Okay. Yeah, it was trash. So it was reported this morning by Tom Pelissero, the hashtag Bears are working towards a deal to hire Shane Waldron as their new offensive coordinator, per sources. Waldron, 44, spent the past 3 seasons as Seattle's offensive coordinator. Now he's expected to land in Chicago, which owns the number 1 pick with a big question looming at quarterback. Well, if you're a Seahawks fan, you're probably saying, sayonara, good riddance, Shane Waldron. Literally most Bears thing ever. Shane Waldron is not a good offensive coordinator, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hear it. He is not a good offensive coordinator. This is a terrible hire here. We'll see if it turns out good, but honestly, I don't think it's good at all. The hashtag Falcons did indeed interview Ben Johnson last night, beating the deadline to be allowed a second interview during the Super Bowl bye week if Detroit advanced that far. 4 interviews in 48 hours before kickoff clearly didn't distract Johnson or his offense. I don't know if he called a much worse game than usual. He called his normal game. He kind of really, instead of baffling second and long runs, now they were baffling second and long passes. And he still put up 31, the 5th best scoring defense. He just called it pretty much the same normal game he always does. That's all for me and Rappaport and Adam Schefter, ladies and gentlemen. So the NFL referee assignments for the conference championships have been released for Ravens Chiefs, Sean Smith's crew, and Lions 49ers Clete Blakeman's crew. So those are your referee assignments. Per report at Real D Gun, hashtag Eagles will likely fire offensive coordinator Brian Johnson. This doesn't come as a surprise. Getting head coach interviews and fired the same way is kind of wild. I don't know if he's a legit head coach candidate, though. I think they're making a right move here, but Sirianni should go too, but yeah. I just don't think he's getting off the coordinator. Or maybe it's just Sirianni. I don't know. Sam Laporta so far in the playoffs, 12 receptions, 14 targets, 12 receptions, 79 yards, with 0 drops. That's crazy, no drops. Patriots head coach Earl Mayon if the team failed to support QB Mac Jones last year. The confidence of a player is very fragile. There was enough blame to go around. Mac Jones and the coaching staff both made mistakes before trying to help him with that confidence. It definitely doesn't help the teammates suck. Stephon Diggs declined to talk to the media last night after last night's divisional loss, 27-24 to the Chiefs. He's just not a number one now. What a crybaby. But yeah, that's all to say for the NFL news here. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.